I wanted to take this time and say thank you to all of the monks and novices that accompanied me throughout my journey after Europe in Southeast Asia, taking the time to coordinate transportation, food, necessary requisites every step of the way. I wanted to say thank you to the senior monks and chief monks and I vice abbots, what we call it. There's a lot of terminologies. Typically in America, we use abbots and vice abbots. Um, where I was, there were chief monks, and now I would assume vice monks, vice chief monks. I have never been treated like that before. And it's not just one person, it was all three, actually four chief monks in charge of monasteries. They didn't even know who I was. Um, the hospitality, and it was just beautiful. The purity and holiness with the younger monks that were there was an amazing scene to wake up to. Remember in 2024, I went to Laos, also just saints, just waking up to see saints in orange doing what they do. A very different type of energy and atmosphere and environment to observe, to be with, to just sit and just watch how they operate, how they tap into enlightenment, the way that they move, the way that they clean the monastery, the way that they speak, who they are, their presence, the power of their presence alone, nonetheless, when they actually speak to us. In one of the monastery, the abbot and myself were friends, cohorts, starting off our young monk career. And this one young chief abbot adopted young novices, and I got to watch them grow. Very emotional to have arrived, sitting there waiting for them to come back from the universities, and they come and they pay their respect to me. And I said, I have watched you all grown for so many years. Do you know who I am? And they kind of looked at each other and they were like, no. And I spoke a couple more words, and one of them were like, are you Jidao? I follow you. And I'm like, what? I've been following you. You've been following me too? Oh. He's like, yeah, I follow you to study English. I was like, oh. So then as the night fell and we had tea together, both of us kind of looked at each other in awe, and I said, come, talk to me. And he was just in amazement that I'm there. You know, I didn't announce that I was coming. And so just the whole night, myself and he's a bhikkhu now, he's 21, 20 or 21. And so he was just, both of us was in shock and awe, and I was just so amazed at their studies and practice, led by their teacher, that, you know, I grew up in the monkhood the best way, that all of us were just trying to climb the ladder of achieving what needs to be done, doing what needs to be done, study what needs to be studied, and practice what needs to be practiced. And here both of us, you know, in the relative same age, looking at the students that we have been guiding and watching them climb the stages of sainthood. It was just so beautiful. Then the chief abbot and myself spoke on the phone, and he says, so what do you think of my monastery? And I said, you know, I felt enlightenment when I'm here. I'm here. I'm in Nirvana right now at your monastery. And he was so moved by that, to hear that from me, to have watched me, and like all of you have been watching me for 10 years, to make those kind of statements. imagine hearing that from a monk with millions of followers and gone to so many countries and observations and experiencing the good, the bad, the ugly. To hear that, um, he was quite moved by it. And you know what? One of the telltale signs when they're moved by it is after you utter a statement that is profound and deep. They're like sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And I say things quite quick and fast, and then that's what stops me was when they respond with feedback that in that way, in such a way. Oh, it was just so beautiful. And then at nighttime, there came the exchange of dana and gifts. I had gifts for all of them, like I always do with every monastery that I go. Thank you for all of you supporting, because we spread the the dana. That's how the sharing of the merits work. And they had gifts for me, and it was just the way they presented the gifts and what they say during the gifts and what they say after. I cried. And again, another monk that also observed me growing up into the monkhood, he watched me, tears, streams coming down as I put my hands towards the abbot, because he's an abbot now, I'm going to afford every single respect, regardless of Vasa. Okay, that's one thing about humility about me, is that I don't really give that much emphasis on Vasa. I consider myself, you know. And so, as these statements were being made mutually, positive statement, I was just feeling it. It was just coming down. And so my other friend that I grew up with, his face was, because he had never seen me cry. And I'm like, it's okay, I'm good. It was the tears of joy. In America, we call that tears of joy. I'm okay. And the entire night, he was like, are you okay? Like, just that look that he gave me. The same look that people gave me at my mom's funeral 6 months ago. And I'm looking in the crowd. I was more concerned for them. Yeah, my mom's funeral. The way how they were looking at me. Just everyone thought like I was gonna like break down or like, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna break down, because I kind of expected this. It's just, oh, humans. The experience of being human and the experience of observing other humans. This is a beautiful encounter and interaction. I just wanted to say in totality that all of you touched my heart in such a way that it is so memorable that when I get older, I'm going to relive it over and over and over again. And that's what's well worth it. I'm going to go back to the United States and continue working, utilizing amendments to our rules to continue back to work, to gather fundings, and then just go back and lead people away from the political climate, division, and polarization right now. And I think I have a new calling, which is wonderful. Life is not stale and boring. Life is filled with innovation and creativity in Buddhism. I've already talked to a couple of people, and I've already told them you need to look at your budget and get ready to utilize some of your fundings and go. Because if this Buddhist monk got to go, then you got to go. So all of my last message is for one of you wonderful monks. Continue your study and practice, and we will meet again. And that is when you will have your opportunity to shine and to share your stories and to give instructions to Westerners who are coming to your monastery very soon, just like how I did. Once again, please reflect on all of this. Bring joy to yourself and to other people as you have done for me. I hope these stories inspired everyone to walk this path with me in the forthcoming days. I look forward to talking to all of you on the phone and via email. Please reach out to my Linktree or my email, the #1 Vietnamese interpreter at